What's going on, everybody? Car Guy V8 here with another video. And if you're a fan of the channel, you'll remember that I've been talking about getting rid of my 1979 short wheelbase GMC truck for a little while now. And in the last video that I made, I had talked about prepping it to sell and showed y'all what I did. So now that truck is gone. So let me show you what I replaced it with. My new to me 1978 Chevrolet El Camino. So let's take a look at this 78 El Camino and see what it's got. Here is my new to me 1978 Chevrolet El Camino, and it is sitting next to my 1978 Chevrolet Camaro. So we've got two 78 GM cars here sitting next to each other. So this is so cool. A real flashback in time to quite a few years before I was born. This El Camino actually used to belong to Clay. You'll remember him from the channel. He's been in quite a few of my videos now. He's the one with the LS Swap G bodies, and this was one in his collection. And so I was happy to pick this up off of him. And my favorite thing about the deal was I actually traded the 79 Sierra for this. So it was a roller for a roller. He's always liked that truck. I've always liked this El Camino ever since I first met him. So since we traded roller for roller, you remember the 79 was running in my last video. So the roller for roller came in because they were identical setups. This is the same budget 357 small block that I put together the top end on just a few months ago. And he wanted to hang on to his setup. I'd kind of grown attached to this engine for no real reason whatsoever. The only thing it has going for it is it sounds incredible with the unknown chem that's in it. I wish I knew what it was, but I was just throwing it together to have a nice little cheap setup to sell the truck with. And now look at it, it's in my next vehicle. So this was actually a factory 350 El Camino. 78 and 79 were the only years for the factory 350 from what I understand. And this is not the original transmission because this is now a Turbo 400. He had a Turbo 400 drive shaft and a Turbo 400 in this. So we just literally pulled drivetrain for drivetrain and just took us the daylight hours of the weekend. So it really was no big deal at all. And it's got a pretty nasty little header leak. These are the wrong gaskets, and also I need to figure out a way to tighten that back one. That is a pain to tighten. Yeah, I bought two sets of gaskets at the parts store because I wasn't sure what headers he had. So the ones that I needed, funny enough, pulled them out of the wrap, and they were torn on the edges of the gasket at the back. So I had to use the wrong set of header gaskets. But there it is. Close. Let me fire this thing up. This thing sounds addicting. I've listened to this thing over and over with this exhaust setup. It's an H-pop with Flowmasters on it, and it sounds incredible. Look at that interior. It's actually pretty nice. Power windows work. When I got it, the door handle, this one was broken. I replaced it today. And this one was broken, so that's actually a brand new one. I just replaced it. The seat belt wouldn't retract, or excuse me, it wouldn't pull out. It would retract, but it wouldn't pull out, so I had to pull it out. The electric fans, now they work. They were just two wires hanging down here because the old switch had broken. But I did a few things on it today. Hopefully she'll start right up. That was the fan you heard there. it works. It just sounds terrible. Yeah. But it still needs a little bit of work, but I like this thing a lot, so I'm willing to put in the time, see if we can't make something pretty nice out of this. I've already got my eyes on a different set of wheels. I know somebody's selling a decent staggered set. Both of these wheels have good tires on them, both sets. He had some nice weld wheels, but those are kind of some that he hangs on to for his collection. So I understand that. I kept my good wheels from the truck. So I've got my eye on a set. It's a cool old G-body. I've got the trim for right here and for the top, but I'm going to replace its heater core over there, so I went ahead and took that out. That's why the windshield wiper is just kind of dangling down there. So what do y'all think? We'll take this out for a spin as soon as I get that carburetor swapped out. I've been driving it with this one. It's a 750, too big for the engine. It's not tuned right. I've got a 600 that's tuned much better for this setup. I don't really want to put any more time into that 750 on, at least for this setup. Well, that's the El Camino, guys. I hope y'all look forward to seeing more of this car or truck on the channel, however you look at it. But it's quite a bit lighter than that old Sierra, and you can really tell. Probably about 600-700-ish pounds. I think these were like 3,300 from the factory with a V8 in them. So that is not very heavy, and you can really feel it whenever you're driving with that 357. It's quite fun to drive, and hopefully it'll last a good bit of time in that setup. But thanks for watching, guys.